Hello everyone. As you know, my name is Rex, and today we will talk about hardware and software in computer. Yes, this is the name of our topic that we will discuss today. Guys, you should know a computer system is mainly made up of two fundamental components: hardware and software. So, today we will discuss about them. Hardware and software both are essential for the proper functioning of a computer. Apart from that, you should know hardware provides the physical components which required to perform different operations, while software provides the instructions that tells the hardware what to do. Okay, you should know that. Now, if we say in simple words, we can say that hardware is the physical part of a computer, whereas software is the collection of programs and instructions which operate and control the hardware. Apart from that, you should know hardware and software both work together to perform different tasks. Hardware provides the necessary resources, while software tells those resources how and when to perform a particular operation. Therefore, neither hardware nor software can provide the complete functionality of a computer independently. Now, let's understand hardware and software in computer in more detail. Guys, let's first discuss about hardware. Guys, let's understand its meaning. Hardware refers to all the activities, guys. We can say that hardware refers to all the physical and tangible components of a computer system that can be seen and touched. Apart from that, hardware forms the physical structure of a computer, and it includes electronic, electrical, and mechanical components which helps the computer to accept input, then process data, then for storing information, and for producing output, and finally for communicating with other devices. So in simple words, we can say that it includes electronic, electrical, and mechanical components which help the computer to accept input, process for processing data, storing information, producing output, and communicating with other devices. Apart from that, guys, hardware can be located inside the computer, such as the CPU, motherboard, this RAM, and storage devices, or it can be connected externally, such as the keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, and scanner. And apart from that, hardware itself cannot decide what task needs to be performed. It requires software to provide the necessary instructions and control its operations. Now, if we talk about the example of hardware, so you can see these examples. These are the examples of hardware like CPU, motherboard, RAM, hard disk, SSD, keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, scanner. I already explained them in my previous videos. You can check them. Now, guys, let's talk about some parts of hardware, or you can say subparts of hardware. Guys, we can say hardware can be broadly classified according to the functions performed by different physical components. First can be input devices. What? Input devices. Guys, input devices are the hardware components which used to enter data and instructions into a component, and they provide a way for user to communicate with the computer. And here computer receives the information through these devices and then process it. And this input devices include some examples such as keyboard, mouse, scanner, microphone, webcam, joystick, touch, touch screen. Sorry. So, and in this next subpart is processing device. What is processing devices? Processing devices. So, guys, processing devices are the hardware components that responsible for processing data and executing instructions. In this, the most important processing device is the CPU, which stands for Central Processing Unit. It performs calculation, executes programs, instructions, and controls various operations of the computer. Apart from that, CPU here is commonly considered as the brain of the computer because it performs the major processing operations which required by the programs. And you should know some main parts of CPU, that are ALU, arithmetic logical unit. It performs arithmetic calculations and logical operations. Control unit, I already explained all of them, just revising all the contents that you should know. So, control unit, CU, it controls and coordinates the activities of different parts of the computer. And next is registers. They are small high speed storage locations which used to temporarily hold data and instructions during processing. So, next is memory in this, in hardware. So guys, memory, as we know, is used to store data and instructions that are required by the computer during its operations. It allows the CPU to access the information which needed for processing tasks. And you should know memory can be divided into primary and secondary memory. And you should know primary memory. What is primary memory? Yes, you should know. It is directly accessible by the CPU. I am talking about primary memory. Primary memory is directly accessible by the CPU, and it is mainly used while programs are running. And this primary memory includes examples like RAM, random access memory, ROM, read-only memory, and cache memory. Next is secondary memory in this. So secondary memory, guys, is used for long-term storage of data, programs, and files. So, and this secondary memory includes examples like HDD, SDD, USB flash drive, memory card, CD or DVD. And you should know, unlike RAM, secondary storage normally retains data even when the computer is switched off. We already discussed all those topics in previous independent videos, so you can watch them. Again, I'm saying. So next is output device in hardware. So guys, output devices are the hardware components which represent the processed information to the user in a meaningful form. And after the computer processes the input, output devices, this output devices allows the user to see, hear, or receive the result. And these output devices also include flowing examples like monitor, which displays text, images, videos, and other visual information, and printer, speakers, headphones, projectors, etc. So after that, we will see storage devices in hardware. So guys, storage devices are the hardware components which is used to store data, programs, files, and other information for future use, and they provide long-term storage and allows the information to be saved and for accessing them later. And they also include some examples like HDD, hard disk drive, solid state drive, SSD, USB flash drive, and memory card or optical disk. They are different, memory card and optical disk. And apart from that, we also see communication devices. They also are sub part of hardware. So you should know communication devices are the hardware components which allows the components and other devices to communicate and exchange data with each other. What is that name? Communication devices. Okay, and they are particularly important for networking and internet communication. And if you talk about their example, we, communication devices examples, and they are, see, so they are network interface card, which enables a computer to connect to a network, modem, which helps in establishing communication with an internet service, router, which connects devices and directs the data between networks, Wi-Fi adapter, Bluetooth adapter, etc. Now, guys, let's move to software. Let's understand what is software and its meaning. So, guys, software is a collection of programs, instructions, and related data that tells a computer hardware to how to perform specific tasks. And unlike hardware, software does not have a specific physical form which can normally be seen or touched. It consists of instructions that are connected to control the hardware and to perform different operations. Apart from that, we can say that software acts as a link between the user and computer hardware. And when a user wants to perform a particular task, software here provides the necessary instructions and the hardware execute those instructions. And you should know software can be installed, updated, modified, copied, or removed without physically changing the computer's hardware. Now let's see some examples of software. So guys, these are some examples of software: Windows, Linux, Microsoft Word, Google Chrome, VLC Media, Adobe Photoshop, MySQL, and I also know most of you already use these softwares already. So I will not waste your time on explaining these. I will simply explain its types. Which types? So guys, we already know what is software now. Let's understand its type. So guys, software can be broadly classified into three major categories, and they are system software, application software, and programming software. So let's discuss about system software. Guys, system software is a software that manages and controls the computer hardware and provides a platform or environment for running application software. Apart from that, it works closely with the hardware and manages important computer resources such as the processor, memory, storage, and input output devices. And also, system software generally operates in the background, and also they provides the basic environment which required for other software to work. And if we talk about the some main examples of system software, so they are operating system, device drivers, utility softwares, and firmware. Let's understand what is operating system in this, at least. So guys, operating system is one of the most important type of system software. It manages computer hardware and provides an environment in which user and application can work. And it includes some examples like Windows, Linux, macOS, Android, iOS, etc. Let's understand. For example, Windows that we use normally manages the computer's processor, memory storage, and connected devices while allowing applications such as web browser and word processor to run. So you should know what is device drivers also. So device drivers are software programs, guys, that allows the operating system to communicate with specific hardware devices. For example, printer driver helps the operating system to communicate with a printer. Now let's move to application software, guys. Let's discuss that. So guys, application software is a software which is designed to help the user to perform specific tasks or activities, and it is mainly developed this application software is mainly developed according to the requirements of the user. Unlike system software which mainly manages the computer system, application software helps the users to perform tasks such as writing documents, browsing the internet, watching videos, editing images, preparing presentations, and managing informations. And if we talk about examples of application software, so they are Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Google Chrome, VLC Media Player, Adobe Photoshop, and PowerPoint, etc. So guys, you should know also application software generally depends on the system software to communicate with the computer's hardware. Okay. Now next is programming software. Guys, programming software consists of tools which helps the programmers to create, test, debug and maintain the software, and it provides programmers with the necessary tools and environment to write programs using programming languages. And if we talk about its examples, so they can be IDE. So if I'm talking about examples of IDs that we use in our system, so there are many examples like Eclipse, NetBeans, JIDEA. But if we talk about the programming software in this, we can say examples like IDE, code editor, debugger, assembler, interpreter, and compiler can be considered as the example of programming software. Okay, so guys, that's it for today, and thank you for listening to me. Let's see and discuss about different